Great. Okay. Now,
You can't and you didn't.
hello. We are in the online class with Michael and Kayla. So,
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah, so for today we have a beautiful host that is Paola.
yeah.
What?
Okay, do it.
Okay, I have a topic, but I don't know if all is okay. So I'm gonna share my story.
Oh, hey, just a heads up, guys. We have um sorry, we should have mentioned this at the beginning, but we have an important call to make tonight at precisely 8:30. So we need to leave the video call at 8:25-ish so that we can make that call. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
so here, what time is in here? I don't
So
know.
that'll be 9:25 for you guys.
Okay, okay. Nine.
It's only an hour because of the
Oh,
Like
no.
extra
50
time.
minutes we have. Yep, I think it's
Yeah,
enough.
we have about 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, the topic is about should, ought to, and had better. Is good the pronunciation?
Uh, So, what are you asking?
If the pronunciation is good.
Ah, yeah.
Um,
So should, ought
Okay,
to,
ought
and
to.
had better. Should, ought to, and had better.
Okay, should, ought to,
I
and
have
had
a
better.
question. It's better or better? Or is it
It if you want to sound correct, better with T's.
So
okay?
it depends where you're from.
Mm.
If your accent is from England, it's probably, you would say better. On the west coast of the United States, often we pronounce it better.
Better with like a D. Better, better butter.
yes, better.
Even though technically it's better butter.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I got it.
Usually, politics use more like the words uh, simplified without contractions and
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
They,
It's simplified.
they wanna be understood.
Okay,
Yeah,
Paola.
people will understand you if you say either.
Yeah. Okay, continue, Paula.
Okay. Uh, should, okay, should. You should not, uh, for a recommendation, not to do something. But I don't know if it's right. Not to do something is good.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
right
that's
because
recommendation not to do
you can use
something.
it as a recommendation and you say you shouldn't talk to him. He's gonna get you some problems or something like that. I don't know.
But
Mhm.
the grammar is good. And the
Yeah, the grammar is
recommendation
correct.
not to do something.
Oh, except use should not. It is a recommend
Oh, it needs to say you should not.
or no. She's
Or
saying like
using should not.
using should not is a recommendation not to do something.
Using?
Mhm.
And no comma.
So
Take the comma out. Using should not
Okay.
is a recommendation not to do something.
Okay.
I tried to put it in the comments so you could see how to spell
Oh,
using.
yeah, Paula, look at the comments in
Um,
the video chat.
I don't know if she can look at the comments and look
Using
at
should
them.
wait.
it's just
Uh,
not it. So you have to take away it.
It
okay.
and change use to using.
Ah, yes, use. Using short not is a recommendation not to do something.
They should
Mm.
do.
You can. One question: can you say something too, or you have to say something always?
Sorry?
You can say. Can you say? You can you use the like the flap T when you say, for example, important, and you can use it with something, or you have to say something with the true T.
I don't think I understood your question.
So
Sorry,
give
Michael.
us an example.
Yeah, give us an example.
Okay. In pronunciation, there are some rule that says that sometimes you can use like a flap T that is, for example, when you say instead of say important, you can say important. Yeah.
Oh, a flat
Oh,
T. Yeah, important.
Flap.
Important.
so
So you can use
technically,
that flap T with something.
technically you shouldn't. Our accent sounds like that because we're from Utah.
We're
But
from the West Coast.
yeah, we're from the West Coast. But sometimes people say it sounds kind of hick or kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to say, what was the word you just used?
Important.
Oh, important.
Mhm.
It's more formal and more proper to
It
say
gives-
important.
It gives more emphasis to the word if you use sharp T's.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's not a pro. What is the pronunciation of this?
It is not a. It's
Prohibition.
prohibition. Inhibition.
No, it's prohibition.
Prohibition is correct.
Yes. So it is not a prohibition.
It is not a prohibition. Yes.
Prohibition.
Prohibition. Okay.
Give us a synonym of prohibition. Could you, Michael, Kayla?
Inhibition.
Oh, that's different.
Prohibition is stop, and inhibition is internal.
Yes. So often, instead of saying a prohibition, we say this is prohibited. So we can say you cannot pass this door. It is prohibited.
Prohibited. Yes. Could you write it? I don't get the spelling. I don't.
Yeah. Okay, it means like, can you go back and write it in the thing? So, prohibited. And then, so it means the
It's-
same thing as like,
We use prohibited in passive voice. Remember how we learned about passive voice?
Yes.
That's how we use it. It is. We
It's
say that.
prohibited. Like it's not allowed. It's not allowed
Yeah,
to.
yes,
exactly.
it's not allowed. It's restricted.
Okay. Thanks.
What about this word for forbiddance?
Oh, forbidden.
Forbidden.
Or something?
Forbidden.
We most often use the word forbidden.
What?
Hold on one
I'm
second.
spelling it into the chat box right now.
Yeah.
Forbidden. Okay.
Um, hmm.
So it is. That is also passive voice. We say it is forbidden to go into the
Cannot enter. It is
construction zone. Forbidden.
cannot enter. It is forbidden.
Although forbidden is kind of archaic.
Yes, sounds more like a. I saw that word in the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Uh-huh. Nowadays we would say something more along the lines of prohibited.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Paola.
And there you go. I ate that T too. That was a flat T. Prohibited.
Prohibited.
Even though it's supposed to be prohibited.
Prohibited. Mm-hmm. Prohibited.
Okay.
I accidentally forgot my period on you cannot enter, period, it is prohibited. But those three sentences I just wrote are the same. They mean the same thing.
Not enter. It is forbidden. Not enter. It is. Mhm. Okay.
Okay. In some case, it's something that you suppose has to be true or very probable. And it's a suggestion. It's, it's not an obligation. For example, I shouldn't talk to him. It would be better not to do it. It is advisable not to do it.
Advisable,
Advisable.
Uh, what? Can you repeat this?
advisable.
Okay, it is advisable not to do it. Another example is you shouldn't stay up late, but it's a recommendation. It's only that.
You have to get up. Mhm. You have
Uh,
to.
and should is the auxiliary that you can use in a question.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, for example, should I walk or should I take the bus?
Did I walk or should I
Mhm.
take the bus?
Okay, ought to is this modal verb has the same meaning as our noun should. Is the same, but in this case, ought to is used for or in a formal way.
Correct. Yeah.
Ought to have more or less the same use that should. For
Yep.
give advance or recommendations. Uh, this modal verb show a small obligation.
I
Uh,
think often the
Oh,
word ought to, like people that are above me say that to me. Like my mom will say,
yeah.
you ought to do this. Or my boss will say, you ought to do that.
So I have a question. The beginning sound, I mean the vowel, is like the O that you pronounce when you say, for example, number four. It's O2 or what O is. I don't know. It's so
It's
I
so
don't get.
uh it's kind of like it's a mix between O and U, I guess.
I guess it kind of sounds like if you were to
Uh,
just say OT, ought. You
ah.
ought to.
Yeah, that's fair.
O2.
Mhm.
Okay.
for example, you ought to go, but it is not a obligation.
Mhm.
It's an
It's
advice.
kind of a stronger, like, should is, I could say, Michael, you should go to the movies with me, you know?
Hmm.
And that's like, oh, you should come. But if I say, Michael, you ought to take me on a date.
Yeah, see, that's more. There's more
Or,
consternation, more.
or Michael, you ought to clean the house while I'm at work.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right?
is the
It's like more powerful, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, that's here. It's
But it
power.
means the same thing. Yeah.
and had better uh, has the use similar to should, although had better tends to be used in a specific situation and not general. You can give an advice, a recommended or suggestion, but in a specific, uh, for example, you had better take more exercise.
Yeah.
You'd better do more exercise.
So, but here they are mixing like a lot of ironic. How do you say yes? Ironia.
Irony.
Yeah, that.
Irony. Yeah. Also,
Irony.
Paula, it's not you'd better take more exercise, but rather you'd better do more exercise.
You
Mm-hmm.
better, okay, you better take more exercise.
You'd better
You,
do more exercise.
Okay, do.
instead of take, put do.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Mm, more
Yeah.
exercise.
That's why.
Or
You
they
better
better
do
not.
more exercise.
Do you see how you'd means you had?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You'd equals you had.
You.
And then they
They.
equals they had.
That contraction is so difficult to notice when you are speaking.
Yeah,
Right.
So
yeah,
Yeah, it
it
makes
is.
speaking a little bit more
you
understanding
do it
a
so
little
fast.
difficult.
But you know what? I don't use you'd and they'd very often because it doesn't sound very professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really use it at school. Often our professors in school won't allow us to use any contractions.
In reports.
Yeah.
So, for example, any contraction, so you have to say, "I am always." Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
Yeah.
instead of I'm. Mhm.
So
Oh
I
my God.
It's,
Yes,
I
in my
mean, it's kind of just a formality, you
because
know.
it
yes,
sounds more professional. So
yes,
I
at university, my university is the same because the teacher says that you are gonna be teachers, English teachers, so you must have an extraordinary vocabulary and like
There you go.
yeah.
Exactly. That's a great way to look at it.
Or
eh,
there's
I
there's
have.
I have. What are the contractions are really common?
I have a question.
Okay,
Yes.
Samir.
Um, in this case, they with D is they had, but what is the difference to say they would when the contraction is not the same?
Oh, it
They would.
is.
It is the same. That's a good point, actually. It is
I've never noticed that.
the contraction is the exact same, but it's at that point it's just context for differentiation.
Yeah.
But it's the same contraction. Yeah, it's the same one.
Yes.
Uh,
Same contraction.
okay.
They'd.
So they they would.
oh my God.
Sorry, that makes it a little
And
harder.
they had. That's
I've
interesting.
never noticed that.
Never thought of that.
And that goes
Yeah,
for more
that's
than
wrong.
just that. 'Cause
Is that
if you say I'd, it means
I'd walk, but I'm late, so I'll take the bus.
I would.
Uh-huh.
Or I'd means
I had.
I had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is often probably why they won't let us use it in written papers because it's not clear and it's not
It's not professional.
it's not professional.
But,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like slang.
It is slang,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. But in yes, because when you are, the problem is that when you are watching TV, you are not gonna sound technical. So that is the problem. That is the real problem of learning
Right.
English. Because in context of like technical context, in my case, I understand better because you emphasize in all the words, but in a local context, it's harder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, one. Continue.
You want?
Probably.
Okay. Had better express strict or warning.
Sorry?
In the negative form, uh, is had, better, and the not.
Mm-hmm.
But in O2, the not is in the middle of out on two. No, like
Correct. And
uh,
Oh,
the two.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
okay. There are three auxiliary verbs that you can use to give advice. There are similar,
Mm,
but also all three uh, have the meaning should. Had better is stronger because it implies a negative consequence if you don't follow the advice.
Yeah.
And the other difference is that usually ought to and had better are not used with questions.
Mhm.
Only should.
Consequence is what you said, right?
yeah.
And I have an exercise.
Paula, go back to the previous slide really quick.
Can you repeat me, please?
At the very, very bottom in red, it says, had better I put cool water on a burn. It should be, had I better put the I before better.
In the
Uh,
third, in the last example, yes, there.
Had I better.
had I? Okay.
Yeah.
Also, those three sentences end in the word burn, and we actually call the thing that's hot on your stove, we call it a
They're
burner.
talking about a burn that you get.
Oh, they're talking about a burn. That's another word. I was thinking a burner.
Mm-hmm.
Could be either. Sorry, guys.
Okay, yes, I understand what you mean. And the burner is the thing that is to light up a match and you put it in.
The
Yeah.
stove, yeah.
That's
Right.
more commonly used.
The
Okay.
water on
A burner.
Yeah, yeah.
the
But,
burn.
okay.
So
Should
it's
I put it?
the
In this part, I have an exercise. And I
Should
don't
I
know
bet?
who wants to start.
Yvonne, we haven't heard you. Can you speak or do you have problems still? Yes. No, you have problems.
Okay.
It's so funny. Try,
Dang
try,
it.
try.
Sorry, what is it's funny.
It sounds
I mean,
like
you could always type it in the chat box.
yeah. That would be better. But it remind me that man that created that flower for Kayla. Do you remember that he has that
Oh yeah, the balloon
on his
guy. Yeah.
voice?
Uh-huh. He was good. He was really good.
Yes, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ay, sorry.
Yeah. So so what do you think that is the first, Yvonne? Write. You can write in
Yeah,
the chat.
write it in the chat box. Type it.
What is the best option? I'm gonna read it. We shouldn't ought to
Ought to.
oughtn't to turn
ought
off the
to
TV.
turn off the TV and go to bed early.
Ought to. Yes. Yes is that.
Yes. Um,
Okay, the second. We could use Zoom because I'm gonna get blind.
okay. Wait. I think it's more. Mm, I don't know how.
You can put the at the like at the beginning you put like presentation.
I heard it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Now nice. 100 times nice. Better.
100 times better.
100 times better. Yes, I was thinking in 100 times nice, but then I said no, it's not correct. So I say 100 times better.
Yeah, that's good.
Ooh, excuse me.
Okay. What do you think is the answer for the second, Samir?
For the second, mm, for me is O2 maybe. I go to improve my English before going to London.
Yes, I think you can use both, right?
Yeah, in this case, both would be fine.
Ought to or should.
If,
Although should is more common, is more
yeah, I think
I don't know,
so. It's a little bit more common. If you say ought
because
to, it's almost like it's more of a requirement. But you
yeah,
could go to London and not learn English, and you'd be fine.
yeah,
It kind of depends where you live, too. Some places they use the word ought to more often. Some places they use I should, but either way, they would understand you.
yeah. Okay, so the third one, I'm gonna try to do it, and he shouldn't smoke anymore.
That sounds the best.
Um,
Yeah.
you shouldn't.
I've never heard anyone say oughtn't.
I have. I've. I don't
Oten.
know.
But that's not very common. And because usually we don't usually shorten that. We would say ought not to.
Yes, ought not to.
So, and actually, this right here isn't quite correct because instead of saying oughtn't to smoke anymore, it would be oughtn't to smoke anymore.
No, but when it's a negative, they take out the two.
Ought not. Help me do that. Ought not to. It just sounds kind of weird.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you'd be fine using it. I've used it before. I've heard people use it before.
Just use the word shouldn't. It sounds better.
Or if you want to be fancy, you could use often.
Yes, that is
Ought.
the thing. In Spanish too, we have words that you use all the time. That is part of your daily vocabulary. But then there are words that you use in some context. For example, if I am in an interview, I don't talk like always. I talk different. Or
Yeah,
Right.
if I am
but
in front of the class, I speak different. I don't know.
Right.
but if you were in an interview, you wouldn't say oughtn't. You would say I ought not to do that.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Without contractions.
Yeah.
Okay, the who?
You want?
What do you think is the next one? Oh, she said,
Can you
no.
repeat here the question because
Could you, okay, what do you think is the answer for the number 4?
should
Should, should I go to the doctor?
Should I or
Here, she is missing I, right? Should I go to the doctor?
yeah.
is in the
Missing
pronoun?
I
So,
or
Paula,
we.
do you get it?
But
Should
the
I?
second option has the
Ah, we. Ah, yes, we. Okay, so it's should we go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Should we go to the doctor? Okay,
You could
okay.
also say ought we. That sounds weird.
That sounds a little weird. Yeah, I think should is the best
Should
option
we go
there.
to the doctor? You could also say shouldn't we go to the doctor?
Ah, yes. Then you are
And it
So
asking like,
actually means the
for an
same
example.
exact thing.
even though it's negative, it still means the same. because it's in question form, and when you have a negative question, it means the same thing as the positive in this
So-
case.
If I say to Michael, do you think you should go to the doctor? That's me asking him, do you think you should go to the doctor? If I say, don't you think you should go to the doctor? That's me telling him, I think you should go to the doctor.
Mhm.
Okay. The next is my baby doesn't sleep well. What what should I do?
There you go.
Yeah.
Should is the correct answer there.
What should I do? Yes.
That was the
Okay. The next is Samir. Samir.
You could also say, what ought I to do?
What I ought to do. Mhm.
yeah.
But
Should
what
go better in this
Should
case.
sounds better.
what ought I do? So you can use ought to
What
in
ought
questions.
I to do?
Ah, okay. 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 So Samir, can you do the next?
Yeah. It's raining. I had better bring an umbrella.
Yes,
The
that
second,
is
had better
yeah.
bring.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's raining. I had
I had
better
better
bring.
bring an umbrella.
Yeah, that's right. Without the two, I had better bring an
Yes,
umbrella.
because then you are gonna get wet. Oh,
Yeah.
I have a question
yeah.
in this exercise.
Okay.
In the number two, if I say I have to improve my English before going to London, is right or not?
I have to improve my English. Yeah, that's also right. Mhm.
But that kind of means, so if you say, I should improve my English before I go to London, that's a little bit different than if I say, I have to improve my English before I go to London.
Okay.
But but hold on, if you take the emphasis off of have to, you could say I have to learn English before I go to
Yeah,
London.
that's true. Or you can say, I should.
So I mean, it kind of depends on the inflection in your voice and what word you emphasize.
You can make it more strong or more weak. Like, I should improve my English before going to London. Or I should improve my English before I go to London.
Or I have to improve my English before going to London. Or I have to improve my English before going to London.
Okay.
Yes, they mean the same thing, but if you put the emphasis on should or the emphasis on have, then it means like I really need to.
Or it makes it more imperative. It makes it more important,
Okay.
more
The emotion
necessary.
is important.
Okay. So at what time you told me that you should go?
At 9:25
Your time.
your time.
Okay. So
15 minutes.
how many minutes do you have?
15.
15 minutes is missing
15. Okay.
left.
So what is my? I prepared something, but now okay, I get it. How do you say this in English? It's like a block. We say here we say block, but I don't know
Oh,
the
yeah, right. Quiet. Yeah, we call that a notebook.
no, but it's like it's not a not or I don't know, but it's different because you buy it and you can
Oh,
just
yeah, it's
get outside the
a
paper.
notepad.
Yes.
So there's a notebook and there's a notepad. That is a notepad.
Because it flips vertically. A notebook flips horizontally.
And
Yeah.
the notepad rips out, usually.
Okay.
Um, but that's also for drawing, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but the idea of this
Yes,
is
the
that
pen.
you put it, you take it one. This is for this is not for like consolidate all the things inside. You take out the paper of this like this.
Yeah.
Um, when you have one of those that doesn't have any lines and it's just blank paper for drawing,
Mm-hmm.
we call it a sketchbook.
A sketchbook. When it's a notepad for drawing specifically, sketchbook. Thank you. Um, Also, oftentimes lawyers will use those and doctors, and they call those legal pads, and they're small.
Sketchbook.
Sketchbook or a legal pad.
Okay, great. Small notepad. Legal, legal. Pads.
Legal.
Legal, yeah, legal.
Legal
Legal
pads.
sounds weird because legal is like
Yeah, it's something correct.
Right, right. Yeah, it sounds funny, but a legal pad is a small notepad for lawyers specifically, or lawyers. It's not for them, but they use them.
Yeah.
okay. So now, what is the idea? As maybe you know, we are gonna. The idea is to present IELTS, right? So we have like 2 years for preparing that.
Oh, the EL.
So yeah. So in the speaking, we have phases, right? Parts of the test. So basically, the first part is about you. What do you do? What is your name? Where do you live? Where do you come from? All that. Yes. And the phase two, the number or the part two, are questions about the specific things. So the idea is that I'm gonna ask the question to my colleagues, and they are gonna answer. Of course, the idea is that they extend the answer as much as they can,
I
and
like it.
Kayla and Michael can help us correcting us. Yes, if someone
Okay,
says something wrong. But the
you got it.
idea is that you are gonna like I don't know. You can memorize or the mistake, or I don't know if you can take notes or. And the
Oh yeah,
idea is
that's a
that
good
you
idea. We
say,
can take notes.
say the mistake, but at the final of that person of what person? Yes,
I'm gonna type it.
at the final.
Okay.
I'll type it up so I can email it to you.
So you are gonna be like the interviewer. I don't know,
Okay.
kinda. Okay, so here's the question. And um, first, Samir is gonna answer. Okay.
Okay.
So the question is this: um, do you en- do you enjoy studying English? Why or why not?
Okay.
Why yes or why?
Okay. The answer is yes, because I love the languages. I love learning languages. It's my passion. Is something that make me funny, and I think the English is so important in this moment, and I think it's important, but it's something funny for me, something enjoy for me.
Did you finish?
Okay, it's good time. Sorry, how many
No,
time?
I don't know. You can tell us if you finish. You
Okay.
finish, okay.
What else? Mm,
Yeah, you finish. Okay, you finish because you can
yeah.
do that. Okay, so did you get mistakes, Michael and Kayla?
Yeah.
That was really pretty good
It
though.
was good, Samir. Nicely done. So, you said I love learn languages. It
It's
should be
learning.
I love to learn languages or I love learning languages.
Mhm.
You said English is important in this moment, although the context, you need a little bit more context to say in this moment. In that case, you'd probably want to say English is important in the world, or
At this time.
English is important at this time, in this era, in
Al-
this.
Although what you said was correct, but if you say
Yeah,
in these days it's important to learn
the
English, it just sounds a little more natural.
Or
the
maybe
grammar was
nowadays.
correct,
Nowadays is
but
maybe.
um, but for the context, it was slightly incorrect.
Okay.
Oh, pretty good.
Also,
Okay.
there was one more thing. I couldn't tell Samir if you were saying funny for me or fun for me. I heard funny, but maybe that was just my speaker.
You
Uh,
can say it
I
is
forget. I
fun
forgot that.
for
Uh,
me.
it's
It is fun for me to learn English.
fun.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
fun. It's funny. Funny.
it is fun for me.
It's fun.
Yeah,
Okay. It's fun for me.
fun.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the idea, to fix all the things that we do. And we don't think that we do because we are just speaking, and then we say like, "Oh my God, I didn't." Yes, I didn't get it. So now it's time for Yvonne. So I'm gonna ask you the question, right? Ah, but Yvonne, ¿quién es?
Yeah, how is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I
Yes, yes,
forgot.
yes.
She has a weird voice.
Well,
I
we
wanted
only
to
have 7 minutes
hear.
left anyway, so Yvonne, next time. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So Paula. So
uh,
try to remember, try to extend and don't stop, because if you stop, the interviewer are gonna take that like, oh, you finished. Okay. So try to don't stop, although you are gonna stop. Okay. So the question is, um, do you think that English will be useful for you in the future?
mm, yes, because for my career is so important the English and the other languages. I study business administration, and if I want to study in another country, or if I want to work in another place, I need the English is so important for me and for my future. Yes, I don't
Mhm.
have
Okay.
more.
Yeah. Well done. Okay.
That
So
sounded
any
pretty
corrections?
good. So one thing that I noticed, um, you said it is so important English. It would be easy. It would sound better and be more correct if you said English is so important.
Mhm. You put first English as a subject.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So English is so important. There we go.
So I caught three things that I was able to write down. Although Paula, you sounded really good. Nicely done.
Honestly,
Um, so
Michael's kind of picky
the
too.
first
So
error that I got was you said because for my career, or because for my job, because
Mhm.
you're studying business administration, right? Um, because for
you
my job, it is important to learn English because
you can say I want to learn English
it
because
is important for my job.
it sounds better.
Yeah, if you put for in front of my job,
It's still correct.
because for my job, it is important.
Yeah, you can say I did this
No,
because
you're
for
right.
my job it is required.
That is no, that's
That's
right.
correct. That sounds fine.
No, you're fine. Um,
Okay.
and actually, I only caught two because the second one anyways, I need the English. So
Oh yeah.
we never say the English. It's just English. I need
Ah,
English. So
So you can say the English language or you just say, so you can say, I need the English language for my future career, or you can say, I need English for my future career.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't ever really say the English. I need the English for my future career. It's better to say I need the English language for my future career, or I need English.
I often, when I was learning Spanish, I often said that same thing. I would say, necesito aprender el español, but it's not el español, it's español.
Yeah.
Okay.
Necesito aprender español.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you sounded really
But you
good.
sounded great.
Okay, so we are running out of time, so we are gonna say bye to YouTube, I think, because I would love to have more time, but
Michael, you don't want to do it
You
in
can
3 minutes?
You can do it in 3 minutes.
Yes, you can.
okay. So, but now the problem is that now you have to give me the question, thinking a question that is probably asked in an interview, and I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
I think.
You have one?
Hold on.
Hurry.
Answer your question. ¿Qué mano?
Okay. Michael, when have you used English?
I have to use English. Okay. Oof, that's a hard one. I've used English. I've used English with my colleagues basically because at home nobody speaks English. So I just use it like in academic context and in the foundation. And something that I love about using English in the foundation is because there I don't have to use it only academic because I talk to Carolina or to Paola in English and we talk an, a variety of topics, not only academic topics. And there I think that I feel so like obligated, I don't know how do you say that, to expose what I know because we are talking about a lot of things, so I have to use all that I have, all my vocabulary about food, about play, about go to the park, having fun with my family, all about that. I have to use it with them, so I really love use uh, English in the foundation. That's it.
Great.
That was good. You went for a long time.
Yes, I have to improve that because you must. But yes,
Okay.
So
Oh, do you want to go first?
yeah, I got 3 again, but you did really good, Michael.
You did really well.
You did really well.
It's
So,
correct to say well, don't you?
You
say
did really
good.
well.
We say that all the time, but it's not correct.
Yeah, she's right. So first of all, um, you said only in a academic. It should be only in an academic situation.
yeah. Okay.
An academic.
An
Um,
academic.
You said I told to Paula and Yvonne. It should be I told Paula and Yvonne, not to. And you said I really love use English. It should be I really love to use English.
Yeah.
But very nicely done. And you do have an extensive vocabulary, so that's good. It's obvious that you've been practicing.
Paula?
I think okay, so one thing I noticed is you might want to work on your pronunciation of academic.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can't remember how you pronounced it, but I had to, I didn't understand until the second time you said it, and I thought, oh, okay, I get it.
Mhm.
But it just would have
Uh,
been easier for the first time. But I did understand. It just took me the second time, you know.
okay.
And then
Yes.
one more. Um, okay, so you said I feel so obligated to expose what I know,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
expose kind of has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
To like expose someone is to tell their secret.
I feel like
So
that's okay.
you could say that, but in an interview, you might want to say, I feel obligated to share what I
Share,
know.
yeah, share sounds good because then it shows your character.
Okay. But you can use
Also,
obligated in those cases. Like,
for an advanced tip, um, saying I feel so obligated is a redundancy. So and obligated both mean a lot or important. So you could remove so and say only I feel obligated to share what I know.
okay. I feel obligated to share what I know.
Although I
Yeah,
feel so obligated is correct. It's grammatically correct,
it's just repetitive. It
but it's
repeats.
repetitive because so puts emphasis on obligated, but obligated already puts emphasis on what you're
Okay.
saying.
Yeah.
But it just sounds better to just say, I feel obligated.
Mhm.
It's not that big of a deal. It just sounds a little bit better. But we're
Uh-huh.
being really, really nitpicky.
Yeah, we're being very picky. So good job, you guys.
Seriously, you all did a
Okay.
really
Yes.
good job.
And we've
Except I didn't hear Yvonne, but I think she would have done a good job.
Yes. The
and
next
we've
time, maybe
we've got
she.
to go.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay. So, finish the transmission first.
Thank you so
Samir,
much.
please. By
Thank you so
YouTube.
much. And
Bye,
see you
YouTube.
next time. Bye.